People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Arsenal 4, Leeds United 2. It is what it is, and it's been a crazy season. It was a crazy game. It was a game where some fans will focus on the 2 goals we've conceded, some will focus on the 4 that we've scored. I'm personally just happy we got 3 points. It's our first win in February. You know the games, the games we've had to play, the difficult games we've had to play. The games we've got coming. We've got Benfica next week. We've got Manchester City in our next game. Any sort of victories we can pick up are thingy simply, are welcomed, really, because we need to take points going into the City game. Hopefully we play well against them as well, but who knows? We're not in the top 4 shouts yet, but as long as you are mathematically, considering Chelsea are yet to play, Manchester United dropped points, Spurs dropped points. Again, these sort of things can be of benefit. It stops the short-term sort of rut. Hopefully we build on what we have now and we can go on a bit of run. And for nothing more, it's a bit of confidence, and it's just nice to win. I'll get into it a bit, but we let ourselves down for the 2 goals that we conceded. Otherwise, other than that, it was near enough perfect in terms of the performance. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. Please make sure you hit the like button, people. It is what it is in that regard. All eyes on me and said, how can you be so negative after winning the game? What kind of mentality is that? I hope you're not talking about me. I've literally just started talking for 30 seconds, for 90 seconds, and I've said it's a near enough perfect performance, people. And you've said we won 4-2. Why are you still crying? I don't know if you're talking about me, but goddamn, don't know what you're on about. But moving forward with that, like Emma said, please make sure you're hitting the like button. Please make sure you're dropping the like button, people. Saka is a genuine baller. Rinison has said it right. 3 points, we move, can't complain. We pick up 3 points, we move forward as a team. Man is saying the first goal, I blame Luis because he was static and was waiting for the ball instead of towards it. It's been a mad game. And in terms of, the tactical things where we let ourselves down, me, tomorrow we will speak from a tactical point of view in the tactical review of this game after I watch it again. It's been a lot to process. Who bagged their first goal? It was headed from a set piece. You can't blame David Luiz. He was static, but if I remember rightly, Saka's lost his man. Their second goal is a calamity. How did they even score their second? I can't even remember. It will come back to me. But it is what it is, man. It's nice to see, because it's nice to just win the game, really and truly. We made it harder than it needed to be, but other than that, we did what we needed to do. Kieran has said good performance, but in typical Arsenal fashion, we made it nervy at the end. Fair play. Man is saying Bielsa's translator looks like he's forced to do the job. Do you know what? He's probably trying to nicely translate what Bielsa really is saying. That's probably why he's nervous. Big up Just a Fan for locking in. Please make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. Good vibes for the midweek game. Like you said, any bit of confidence you can pick up, it is what it is, and Benfica is going to be a difficult test, but we'll have to see what happens. There's 106 of you locked in. Please make sure there's 106 likes. I don't ask you lot for anything. It doesn't cost a thing, and especially because we got 3 points. Let's make sure we're hitting that like button. What has Jay said? Big up D. Great result today. Oba's 5 goals in 2 starts, but please can Arteta stop with the Project Willian? I don't understand why Arteta is in such a rush to get him onto the field. Now, if I look at Willian now, people, 1 sec as I make a thumbnail. Man said thumbnail, timestamp for this. I don't know. I don't want to listen. I think we're forcing negatives. We won 4-2 today. We've got a reaction, but just because we need to talk the realness in relation to Willian, first things first, I think there might be something contractually, some sort of contractual obligation. These things are true. There has been players before. It has to be, because from a footballing perspective, there's no logical reason to bring him on. There's genuinely no logical reason to bring him on, especially at the expense of Martinelli, who's chomping at the bit. Pepe, who's found his way into form. Lacazette, fair enough, he's not a winger, but the Lacazette thing, it does give the vibes of there is, some sort of financial obligation that Willian's obliged, that we have to kind of meet by playing Willian. There's some sort of clause. Maybe there's actually an extra sort of sanction if it's in his contract, and each time he's in the match day squad but actually doesn't play, there might be some finances due to Willian. We don't know the inner intricate dealings of his contract. One thing that harms me is Nelson, whether Nelson's going to make it here or not, young players appear to be blocked. Pepe's being cost minutes as well. And I didn't really see what Willian brought to the table defensively, offensively in the minutes he got. It's just favoritism. And for me, it's becoming upsetting because you're in that gauge now, that place, where Willian is now going to become a scapegoat. The minute we conceded, I was doing a live stream. All you're seeing is man mention Willian when he played poor when he came on, but it weren't his fault per se, at least watching the game first time around. I can't understand why Willian plays. I don't get it. And it's a bad message. Again, if he's training well and the manager thinks that's the best option, fair play. But if I was some of these players, I'd look a bit sideways at that, man. There has to be some sort of clause in his contract, I'd say, when he's not been played. There must be something, because that's why he's coming on in some capacity. Maybe there's some financial sanctions, which obviously if there is, Arsenal have got themselves in a problem. And I don't want Willian to become the talking point. Aubameyang's got a hat-trick, people. Aubameyang scored his 200th career got goal, people. Aubameyang's got his first hat-trick in the Premier League, obviously off the back of what's been a turbulent season for him, but turbulent weeks. From a personal point of view, I don't want to be speaking about it really and truly, but I don't understand the Willian one. I really don't. And we've dealt ourselves a poor hand. We've got rid of some players in January. We look to be getting rid of some man in the summer. The Willian one is the elephant in the room that's going to be addressed, and something's got to be done. You've either got to pay up his wages, or hopefully a miracle can happen where Willian's form changes. But Willian's selection stinks of favoritism. On one hand, I admire the manager. He's retaining faith in his player and stuff. But on the other hand, I just wish that same, or at least to me as a fan, I just wish that same extension of confidence was extended to everybody. But the benefit is, you'd imagine Lacazette and Pepe play some capacity for the next game in Europa League. At least they'll be fit and firing, but was disappointed not to see them. Definitely Martinelli when we was 4-0 up at the time. So it is what it is. Big up Dorchester. He said, we smelt blood and put the game out of sight. We need to do this more often. Facts. That's what we need to do. I do think Leeds handed us all them goals, but that's nothing to us. If a team hands something to you, go out and savage them. And we took them apart. They made a mistake for the goal they conceded. For all the goals they conceded, really, none of them were individual moments of brilliance. Yes, Aubameyang's goal was wavy, but we smelt blood. We put the game out of sight. Man to a man, we played all right. The only thing is, second half, it was too close for me. Bit of old habits, cheap goals conceded. 4-2 is calm, should have had a penalty, of course. I do think that penalty that wasn't given, I don't see the difference between that penalty and the one that was given yesterday for Højbjerg. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So we move forward, man. And like you said, you got to beat what's in front of you. Pause. You really do. You can't do anything. I don't think Martinelli will leave. One thing we've done is actually tie down his future. I'm not necessarily worried about his development. I'm worried about what message this shows, man. Please hit the like button, as you said. I see someone saying begging for likes. Never begging for likes. It's just a constant reminder that he's needed. Statistically, it's proven, I'll be damned if I beg for anything in this. Bro, Willian, I don't know, man, because Willian's confidence looks shocked. He don't look like he's sure of himself, and it's just not making sense. We've tried playing him his way to form. We've tried dropping him. I just think, I'm no transfer man. I'm just of the belief, people, that there has to be some sort of clause in his contract for when he's on the bench and doesn't feature, which is probably more expensive than the appearance match day fee he and all these players probably get, as they've all got them in their contracts, to which, his agent has played a blinder. Arsenal shot themselves in the foot because you've got him tied down with mad bonuses, mad weekly pay, unknown speculated stipulations, even option of another year. You're going to have to pay up his contract if you want him to leave, which is costly. And considering it would have been after 12 months, somebody's got to justify that mismanagement of funds, essentially. I don't know whether Arteta wanted him or thingy Edu wanted him, but somebody's got to address that one, because it doesn't look good. 32 years of age, got a restaurant here. These things aren't necessarily relevant, but if you're being a cynical fan, you're looking at it as a sort of way to question mark his commitment. I appreciate the spamming, Saka is a talent, but we don't need to spam, please. We're not 5 years of age. He does look nervous, and it's not fair, to be fair. It's not fair, it's not, I don't like that. I don't think Willian should play, but I don't like that he's not confident when he's playing. You should feel confident in yourself. If the fans were here, it probably would have been worse for him, man. Someone said, do you see Martinelli playing anytime soon? He should do. Ironically, I think he'll probably play against City, because I'd imagine there's going to be a decision to make. We're going to have to rest some players for that City game. And I'd imagine Martinelli, like when we played City in the League Cup, I think there'll be changes in that regard. Ollie said, do you think Saka will be sold at some point in the next couple of years? I hope not. Not unless there's a mad fee. Pardon me. Everyone's got a price tag, but I don't think so. Yeah, I'll back anybody that plays for Arsenal Football Club, but it's like Willian, it's not helpful at all. It's not helpful for anybody connected. And for me, it's costing minutes to other players that are taking their chances. John, I'm not going to lie, we looked very tired in the second half as a team. And that's kind of where I was looking at Arteta and thinking, the changes needed to come, and the changes needed to come sooner. I thought, but that's just me as a fan. I'm not going to pretend to know more than the manager and all of these things. That's just literally what I thought as a fan. John you've already said Xhaka looked tired today. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Cameron said Williams' contribution was close to zero. It took him 17 minutes to even touch the ball, as he wasn't showing for the ball. And again, it's all about what the message it tells to other players, people, because Williams not crazy defensive. He's not an offensive problem. He's just an expensive elephant in the room, and we're going to have to sort this out. I really don't know what's going on. The main thing for me is other people who could take his chances. They're being disgraced, really and truly. They're being disgraced. So something will have to change, people. Away from that, though, we'll get into the game in a sorts. But once again, big up Aubameyang for scoring. I believe that's his second. That's another hat trick for him as in an Arsenal shirt. Obviously, that's his first in the Premier League. That's his 200th career league goal in the top 5 leagues. So yeah, man, he's doing his thing. He really is doing his thing. Gonna review the game in a second, people. We're gonna get into that shortly. We will get into that shortly. Just want to take in a bit more of what you lot are saying. Big up all the members, big up the Twitch gang. Mods, please be on your job. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and the rest of it. Big up the 200 odd people locked in. Now I'm going to swap the screen very quickly, people. You know me, I love a good old Google Doc sheet. I do notes as we're watching the game and things like that. We might as well go through what I saw in the game, people, from my perspective. Now, the first half, I felt, more so minute 1 to 5. I think we started well. Clearly, we started well. The thing that impressed me the most was the pressing. That was it. Because for me to press like that, it hasn't been here consistently. So what I assume as a fan is that we've been working on something all week, how we're gonna press them, and it's worked. And that's defending from the front. Pressing is something that we haven't done consistently. We haven't done to a high standard. So I'm happy that was done and done in expert timing, really and truly. We 3 of those goals, really, we forced them into errors. You saw it, Million. What did I tell you lot in preview, people? I said that's a quality keeper, but I've watched him from France under 20s level. I'm sure if you've watched him historically at Leeds fans, he's a good keeper. But he's very young, and he shows his inexperience with some of his decision making. And we exploited that for Saka's. Obviously, Saka should have won 2 penalties, but the penalty we actually got. So I think we pressed them well. Early on, they were camped in their own half. They were, they couldn't play out. There was no, we've marked them out of the game. We're pressing well. When they're kicking the ball long, we got men in numbers. We're doubling up. Rafinha done little things in little dribs and drabs, but it was hardly the sort of match of the day when you watch match of the day and they dedicate a segment to him, it's hardly going to be that sort of thing. So I think we started well early on. Literally first couple of moments, Smith Rowe and Bellerin's cannon shots over. Now taking shots and going over the bar isn't getting goals, so it doesn't mean anything, but it's intent. Now I'm liking how we're playing man to a man. I think we've caught Leeds cold. It looked like a day where there's going to be a lot of intricate movement. And obviously, we've made a brave lineup. Aubameyang's gone back through the middle. Odegaard and Smith Rowe have started. It's looking like a balling thing. So like I said, first 10, I think we was all over them. Opening 5, I was very impressive. I felt we was marking well. We was limiting their build-up play. We're forcing long balls forward and winning the first and seconds. We're pressing well. First 10, we controlled that really and truly. I'm never, once again, impressive pressing. I'm never going to stop saying it. That's the thing that gassed me the most, because you have to work on that. When we went 1-0, it was good football from a lot of players. It's a fantastic team move, intricate play. So if I've missed them out, apologies, but it's good interplay. Xhaka got the assist. There's a couple other man, Gabriel's involved. Lovely sort of individual play from Aubameyang, and he actually completely does Luke Ayling, former Gooner. Sadly, he's played at the stadium before with a couple of step overs and he bangs it. Maybe as a team they should have done a lot better, but it's good for Aubameyang. Obviously, he's had a lot of stuff in his personal life. He's obviously got his first goal. He ain't scored too prolific this season. He's a captain. We love him and we want him to score goals. So far, so good. And for me as a fan, you know, how many games have we played where, like I said, right, Smith Rowe and Bellerin have shot over? You know, we've had a bunch of possession, but that doesn't correlate to winning games. Goals do. So with one goal out the blocks, start as you mean to go ahead, people. And the good thing about that goal, really, you know, Leeds were sitting back quite heavily. It forces them to come out. So a byproduct of that is there's going to be more opportunities widespread. So far, I think we deserve it. I think Xhaka had a good game. I think Ceballos worked very hard and looked actually for me to be the one to make something happen. Cedric did all right today. Saka as well. Man to a man, everybody did well, in my opinion, in what they had. Looking at it, first half, I did feel from literally what we scored in the 13th minute, I feel there was a 10-minute period where, not that we took our foot off the gas. I think when we went a goal up, I think it's like we kind of think, not that we thought the job was done, but, you know, we was allowing them a bit into the game. They kept, I don't know if it's Bielsa shouting at them, but it's like they were earning their half anymore. A bit of it was expected, but I think we allowed the tide to turn a bit too frequently in that regards, people. So, you know, that 10-minute passage from scoring until 10 minutes on from that point, I think we allowed Leeds a bit too much confidence. And at that time, it's still only 1-0. You know, and how many of you have played Sunday League? There's going to be a man there, which I used to be like screaming, it's 0-0. And we haven't shut the game out really and truly. You know, there was a good run in the 27th minute where Luiz picked out Aubameyang and Ayling blocked him. It was a good, you know, probably Aubameyang should have found his dinner, should have scored and finished his dinner. There was at least 2 incidences, definitely Aubameyang, and it could have been Saka, I don't know, but we definitely hit the post twice in the game. You know, I told you press that keeper. Obviously, in the 33rd minute, we should have had a penalty. You know, it does. I don't personally, people. I listen. I don't want to keep talking about VAR because it's a new thing every week, people. But at the same time, you know, what's different from the Højbjerg one? You know, what's different from Luiz's one in terms of the trip? Fair play, we ain't giving the pen, and at the same time I'm thinking we need that because as an Arsenal fan you want to build on that. You're never happy with 1-0, but regardless we've just got to get on with it. And see what we can do in that regard. So it is what it is. I told you, look, pressing the keeper, you know, 3 of those goals, of the 4 goals they conceded, is because we pressed them into their mistakes. We're pressuring the keeper and his distribution is shaky. You know, Saka's pressed their keeper. The keeper fancies himself on the ball. I don't know if he got gassed off Edison last night, but he's caught lacking on the ball and he brings down Bukayo Saka, and Saka said, is that enough? Aubameyang steps up, scores the penalty, and we're 2-0 in and going into half-time. That's what you need. 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, but nonetheless, we're doing what we need to do. I definitely didn't expect at half-time to go 3-0 ahead, though, people. You know, it's lovely play from Saka. Aubameyang's involved. Odegaard's involved. You know, I think even Odegaard gets the assist by nutmegging someone. We've kept it alive. Real talk is shambolic defending from Leeds. Like that was up there with United against Sheffield and a couple of times with Arsenal. I can't believe it's Premier League defending, but we've taken advantage. Like I said, there's bare members of our team working hard and things like that. And of all people to get on the score sheet is Hector Bellerin. So it's a Aubameyang brace. Bellerin's got 2, you know, it is what it is. We've got 3 goals collectively. At this moment in time, we've got a clean sheet. You know, we've got the 3 points at this moment in time. We're loving it. At half time, now we've got to remember it's only half time and it's a crazy league in terms of football. 3-0 is a good lead. Defo the lead we is looking at as an Arsenal fan because 2-0 can go gazy. 1-0 is always a bit of a shaky one. We've got the lead. What I want to do now is smell blood and score even more goals. What I wanted to see was a clean sheet as well. I'm quite disappointed not to have a clean sheet, but I feel we're winning the tactical battle so far against Bielsa. So credit to Arteta. We're pressing well. They don't really know what to do. They've huffed and puffed. They've not done anything. You know, the craziest thing is we've scored 3 goals. I still don't think we've really lit up their keeper. We've just pressed them into those mistakes, which I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying we could score some goals here. We ain't really peppered their goalkeeper. Good start to the game and ultimately goals to match. It's a 3-0 past the pad thing. You know, I think our centre midfielders have been good today, Ceballos and Xhaka so far. I think our game management was good. Ultimately, I'm never happy with VAR and VAR, boy, you know, it depends. It's coming like it according to what team you support or play for is how VAR is given people. Excluding that, that's a note for another game. But that's me at half time, people. The second half, you lot saw it. Naturally, both teams are gonna get tired. Mistakes are going to happen, people. And we started off the second half very good and went 4-0 and went 4-0 up and added on it. Aubameyang got his hat trick. Helder Costa, who's a substitute, ultimately lost the ball. And Smith Rowe is, for me, he's doing very well. Getting the little 1-2s and things like that. Puts in a lovely cross, and Aubameyang gets his hat trick. And goals are like buses. You don't get none, and then you see 3 at a time, and it's lovely for his confidence. Like I said, I believe that's his 200th league goal across the top 5 European leagues. It's another hat trick, and obviously he's had some issues personally, so it's a good release for him, people. So we're 4-0, and we've got a clean sheet. I love Bukayo Saka. I know a lot of people focus on Luiz, and maybe Luiz was too casual, but in the same way, Pepe got a lot of heat for losing his man against Everton, and there's definitely another game where he did such. Maybe even Southampton, I could be wrong. I think Bukayo Saka lost his man way too easily, and considering Leeds struggled to score from set pieces, we had to be the team to let them score from that. So there's no clean sheet. And we've allowed a cheap goal, and there's always it's a little bit of encouragement. And I'm not gonna lie, I'll push. I did think even when we went a goal down, a goal up, we probably gave Leeds a bit too much encouragement in the game, really, that they could get something out of it. We were in control for large parts. It is what it is. We did have moments to huff and puff. It was Helder Costa, forgive me if I'm wrong, he made a mistake and then he scored. Rafinha's huffed and puffed. It's a lovely pass. You can see I'm writing this at the time of it actually happening. Bellerin's completely done by the pass and he's unaware. And it's just a poor goal ultimately to concede, people. So apart from the 2 goals that we conceded, that's it. And not keeping the clean sheet. They're the only things I can be really vexed about. But we made a fast start. We scored some goals. We got a reaction. We're losing. We couldn't afford to keep losing games, and we've got some insurance going into City. Not, it remains to be seen if we can put a consistent run, but just the fact that we live to fight another day, we get a bit of form going into the Benfica game. We get a little bit of damage limitation going into the Manchester City game. We get our first win in February. That's happy enough for me. Good pressing, like I said. We're clinical when needed. With when Leeds, apologies, I keep saying Wolves. When Leeds did gift us those goals. Good performances all round. First win of the month for our confidence. Cheap goals and ultimately going into old habits for the 2 goals we conceded, people. So it is what it is. We'll speak about it more in a second, people. But in relation to the subs, I think Odegaard did all right. In regards to the starts, I think Odegaard did all right, people. I think Ceballos was good today. We'll do the player reviews, but I think Ceballos was good today. Smith Rowe was good today. Ceballos was good. Xhaka got a bit tired towards the end, but was good. Saka switched off for one of the goals, but had a good performance. David Luiz at times was shaky, but I saw a big reaction from David Luiz. I even seen him trying to charge forward. I didn't want David Luiz to start. I can't complain. Cedric was decent. Bellerin got among the goals. So it was a decent team performance still. It was an okay team performance. Can't really complain about anything per se. Sorry, people. So yeah, like you can see, that's the match. That's the timestamps, people. Like you said, just a fan. It's one game at a time. We can't get too hyped or too excited. We can't. We take it as it comes, but we live what we live by, man. DG with the fresh graphics. Come on, G. I'm trying a thing, man. Trying a thing, man. He's only limited by the capacity of his lungs. Come on, man. You know how it is. It's a machine gun. Breathing is overrated. Amford is dog water. Gabriel pocketed him. Big performance from Gabriel today still. Onto him like a rush. The weird substitutions. I think the game management was a bit of a problem today. Not the game management. The game management. I did feel a bit bewildered by some of the subs and who came on. I'm obviously happy that Alioski goes home crying. Of course, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Get your comments in and things. We're going to get into the player ratings in a short sec, but let's keep talking, man. Let's keep talking. Get your players in, man. Get your opinions in. How do you develop good game management? By learning from previous mistakes, people, really and truly, by going through experience. Simple as that. Bellerin scores 1 and lets the winger pass to concede another one. So a yo-yo performance. 5 out of 10, really. Nah, he's not an under 18s. He's in his early 20s, man. I've seen him from under 20s France World Cup days, man. They've had 8 days off. How can they be tired? Okay. So what happens when you're playing a high demanding game of football? Come on now. Of course you're gonna be tired. They look tired in the second half. You're playing football. What else are you guys saying? Still a project too big for Arteta. Fair play. We got the Australian Gooners tuned in. 6 a.m. over there. It's nice to see they've given you a win. Just a fan that said thoughts on the ref, bro. Another day, another incompetent ref, really and truly. But I'm at the stage now. Everybody can see. Everybody knows what's up in that regards. There's no point me really going on and on and on and on and on and on about such. Really, really and truly. But it's nice to win, man. It's nice to win. Can't complain in that regards at all, man. That's the only thing. It's nice to win. Big up the 310 of you. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Hope you're good, Wax, as well, man. Like you said, great W. Jack, man. The man said, what's up? Well, we won the game. Like, we won the game. Like, that's all I care about. Man has said thoughts on Reece Nelson. I assume you mean Reece Nelson, quality player, good young player, but he's not going to get a look in it. Probably isn't going to happen here for him. Can't get in a match day squad. And this is where William's crippling, man. If William was playing good, it would make sense. Unfortunately, he's not, so it don't. That's how football is. Do you think Maitland-Niles, where's that? Do you think Maitland-Niles can become a decent midfielder at this level? It's down to him, but been a bit shaky in his last 2 games. If he keeps developing, who knows, man? Stephen Hill said, next game will be interested to see who gets rotated in and out. That's why I think Pepe and Laka didn't get subbed on. I'd expect them to start, but then again, could you really say that wholeheartedly they're going to start people? I'm really not too sure. In fact, before we get into the player ratings, I guess there's some, I wouldn't say unanswered questions, but like unanswered questions sort of thing. So I thought I'd make a little Google Doc thing and then we'll get into them, people. So the first one undoubtedly is Odegaard. So what do I make of his first start for Arsenal Football Club? That's the timestamp, so we can ignore that. I felt, good cute touches and link up play. I think tracked back well. Sorry, there should be another one. I think he tracked back well. I think he offers good runs / angles to receive the ball, as you would expect. Do you think there was an element of playing within himself? But that might be as he gets more personality and more comfortable with his teammates. I did think there was an element of that. I did think he was, to a degree, a bit passive. And I do think generally, I think Xhaka and Ceballos were a bit more busybodied. Now, he really was excellent in the final third. And I swear there was at least one of those goals. He didn't get the assist, but he worked very hard. So, it was a good performance. Apologies, I should really move this out the way. Sorry, people, if you couldn't actually see that. So just to go over those notes again, in relation to Odegaard so far, I think he made some good, cute touches and link-up play. I think he tracked back well. I think he offers good runs and angles to receive the ball. He wasn't necessarily found, but is he necessarily asking for it? I think he's playing within himself a tiny bit. I think he was a bit passive to a degree. I think he was excellent in the final third and becomes a bit sort of, maybe excellent is a strong word, but he comes alive in the final third. I think he was the quietest out of the midfield men. I think he linked up well with the sort of better players on our football field, or the more attacking players. Like he linked well with Smith Rowe. He linked well with Aubameyang. I think he did well. It's a good first start. It's something to improve on. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a convincing one, and he's definitely played his way into plans for the next game. But he's done all right, man. He's done all right. I'd be keen to see if Smith Rowe is going to get a rest, and this was just to give Odegaard some moments to get fit and get some bit of ring rust, and he'll start. But I think it's a good little performance from him, a good 6, 7 out of 10 or something from like that, man. So that's what I felt. Let me know what you lot felt of Odegaard's first performance as well. So yeah, people, that's that in relation to what I believe in Odegaard's performance. Yeah, man. Next, I guess we'll have to get into, people are asking, a lot of you are saying, what do I feel in relation to Pepe not getting more minutes today ahead of Willian? So, I mean, what is there to say apart from that, I mean, what is there to say apart from, I don't understand, don't understand, Williams not there on the pitch. Like he's not that affecting the game in his minutes as a sub. When he was starting, he wasn't doing it. I don't understand it. Like I said previously, is there a clause in his? You know what? Better yet, is there a costly clause in his contract for not playing him? Is there a cause every time do you end up paying him more than his appearance fee when he's not in the match day squad or when he doesn't come off? Again, to play devil's advocate, it sends a terrible message to other players. To other players in his position. Because if I'm Nelson, it doesn't matter how hard you train. Willian is putting in poor performances, still traveling. If I'm Pepe, I'm playing well. You're dropping me. Willian gets more minutes than me. What's going on? So I don't understand it. It's not just Pepe. It's everybody really. It's Martinelli as well. I don't. All of these minutes that Willian has been taking. But if you rotated for the likes of Nelson, for Martinelli, for these guys, where would they be? Where would Smith Rowe have been sooner if he was afforded these minutes? I just care about players playing well. If Willian was playing well, I wouldn't mind it because it complicates things even further now. Who starts? You see the way Pepe, Martinelli, and Lacazette weren't involved today, and we scored 4 goals. That's brilliant for me. This is what we need. We need this conversation. But Williams right now is not part of that. He's not part of it. There's no reason for it, people. Now, of course, if certain players aren't fit and they're injured, I get all of that, but it sends a terrible message to me. If I was a young Martinelli, if I was Pepe, who's not that much older but still young, it just sends a terrible message. So I don't understand it, and it's got to the case of the costly one. It's like we're not, you're not looking at Willian anymore. You're questioning, you're asking, why is he being brought on? It's like that indirectly becomes people start to question Arteta because they're saying, why are you bringing on Willian? It's got to that point now. We're not people are not angry at Willian. I'm not a fan of the scapegoating, but it's like, why are you bringing him on? He's not bringing nothing to the table. So it isn't making sense. So personally, I don't understand it. I'm not going to cry about it today. Rotation is needed, but it doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't give Arteta a leg to stand on if this game didn't happen for us. I hear that if he's his man, he keeps talking about how he trains well. He keeps talking, Edu defends him. David Luiz defends him. He must be Ronaldinho in training. I want Willian to start playing well because it's in our best interest as Arsenal fans. It's even more headaches for teams. But equally, we're in a difficult decision now. We're approaching we're in February now, and he's still not scored for this team. He's still anonymous. He's still a bit of a liability. Not at fault for the goals, but still a liability. It's not going to help us. And, considering you've got rid of Ozil, Socrates, Mustafi, and all the rest of it now, it's going to be a bit crazy. So that's what I believe in that regards, people. Yeah, timestamp. So that's that. Reaction people, a lot of you are saying reactions in terms of in-game management from Mikel Arteta, people. In relation to Mikel Arteta questionable in-game management or his tactics, of course, at times over this season, he's shown me brilliant tactics, but he's shown me tactics that scream, I'm still learning. Whether that's right or wrong, I'm not going to get into it. I do think he beat Bielsa tactically. I think he learned lessons from Ellen Road because he had Bielsa eating out the palm of his hand, really, for 50, 60 odd minutes. And then apart from, like I said in the review, from minute 13 to around minute 23, when we went a goal up, I think we allowed a bit too much confidence. I think our foot went off the gas. But in terms of how we're pressing, how we force them into mistakes, I think we played very well. And I'm inclined to believe that's due to Arteta's work on the training ground. So I think the tactics are spot on. I do think when it comes to in-game management and reacting to how the game's going, I do think definitely more so when we went in the poor run of form, it looks a bit questionable from Arteta because the subs, I didn't really get it. I do think the subs, you could see our midfielders, more so Xhaka, were getting a bit tired. I don't understand the Willian one. I'm not complaining with the holding one. I just felt the subs should have come on very sooner. So I don't think it's a game we can dig out Arteta, pause, and get at him for that in a footballing regards. But yeah, man, it is a bit bewildering and it is a bit, I've always found myself as a fan, I'm like, not that I know more than Arteta because, a lot of people are getting onto the starting lineup. He won the game. We scored 4 goals. It is what it is. But sometimes I'm looking at it too much and being a bit bewildered, or I'm having too many question marks about when the subs are being made or how the subs are being made or what we're exactly doing. Like, you would not that I know more. And again, I don't have the fitness levels in front of me, people. We haven't played for a week, so there's no need to really exaggerate the need for rest and all of those sort of things. But I don't know because the match is one thing, it's how they've been training. But personally, I would have thought Saka and Smith Rowe, they would have been people you could have subbed off sooner going into the game, and things like that. But I can't really complain, man. I think he got his tactics spot on today. It's only the subs really that you can look at and go, oh, what's going on there? So that's that. So I think that's the only unanswered questions I've got. We're gonna get into the player ratings in a second, people, and we're gonna get into the player ratings in a hot sec. But what has Leon said? Williams' contract for 3 years for a 32-year-old in decline sounds like another Ozil. I think that's disrespectful to Ozil. He can't be mentioned in the same class as Ozil. It's growing pains of an inexperienced manager, though, right? We're playing better. There's obviously progression in how we play. 100%, Andre. 100%. 100%. Therefore, agree. Willian isn't at Arsenal to be a superstar. Fair enough, he's on big wages, but at the same time, he's at the club because of his experience. And we need to see the experienced player then. No one's asking you to be a superstar, but lead by example. Show him with consistency. Show him with actually looking like you're playing. That's all you want to see. We heard his experience he could learn from. Of course, there's a bunch that these young players can learn from Willian, but just as a football level, without going intricate and deep into it, what are you learning from watching Willian? What are you seeing from Willian? Inexperienced player, I expect results. I'm not seeing it really. And generally, it's the experienced players that have cost us more than the young players this season. So, boy, shout out to Willian. And you are right in a sense, but like, man. Benfica playing in an hour. Let's see what form they're in. Fair play, do your thing. I thought Gabriel played really well today. Facts. I would start Pepe on Tuesday. Business as usual. I do think one of Smith Rowe and Odegaard will be dropped to the bench. I'd imagine it'd be Odegaard personally. Front three on Thursday. You're just gonna have to wait for the preview, my guy. I need to stop being a bit reactionary. I need my time to settle and then really see what I'm saying. Yeah, Odegaard did the basics well. Will come. He'll try more and things like that. He weren't bad. He did his thing, man. Big up yourself and big up all the Trini bads locked in as well, man. I think at 8, it's a bit strong. I think a 6 or a 7. I'll give Odegaard a 7 because I think he really was good in the 1-2s and all of those sort of things. Willian finding form is a myth. Martinelli getting some minutes would have been good today. Facts. Defo agree. Man are saying it has to be contractual. Probably, man. Willian had that run of games to get his form. He didn't bang. I don't want to talk about Willian, but, I want him to get form, but it is what it is, man. Please stop spamming, man. No, let's be real. You can learn a lot from Willian, but it's like, if Willian is the guy we're bringing in for our young players to learn, what does that say, man? And sometimes, finding form, it isn't just the manager. Willian doesn't look like he wants to play his way out of form. You don't see a man that's doing the right things, but he's not necessarily getting the goals or assists. The ones there, people. It's not one of them ones. Like, if you had a striker, it's easier example. If you had a striker and he's not confident, he's not shooting, he's not getting in the box, for me, that's a concern. It's still a concern in the following example, but if you had a next striker who's still making those runs, still missing, but still making those runs, still, missing those chances, but still about, I think that's someone that wants to play his way into form. And sooner or later, generally, the law of the world normally works as you will start scoring. That's one thing that scares me. When a man's not playing well, I look for any sort of signs for some confidence. And Willian don't look assured of himself. And I feel sorry for him in that regards, but it is what it is. I don't even think it's a hunger thing. He just looks scared. John, please respect Ozil. He don't deserve to be the same name as that. Some games it will require Smith Rowe and Odegaard to work together, but I think sometimes you don't need to force it. When you got games like today, I said it was a game for the technical ballers. By all means, cram all the creative man into the team. Sometimes you're going to need Saka and Pepe for the width they give you with Aubameyang up front or Lacazette. This is what we need. We need these. Obviously, Smith Rowe Odegaard isn't our player, so I can't really factor in him too much, but this is what we need throughout the squad. We need good problems, good little ways we can twist and tweak in relation to what games we have. Apart from that, I think Smith Rowe and Odegaard worked very well together, as they did in their little cameos with one another, with one another, kind of against Villa people. And they're good, technical. One thing I always say is, sometimes obviously when you've seen it, people, there's been a bunch of players who've been at good players who've been at teams and there's no fluidity. You lot have played football, right? You've all played football. You know, when you play football and you're playing with a teammate and you know he's a baller, you're gonna start trusting each other and playing those 1-2s. And I like that, you know. Lacazette played no part today, but generally Lacazette, Saka, Odegaard in the little minutes he's played, Ceballos when he's not tweaking, they link up with each other quite well. And I think Odegaard, like Smith Rowe, they get into little pockets and they want the ball. And I do think Odegaard off the ball was underrated today. That's why for me he gets a 7. The only thing is I know he's got the ability. I just think he played a tiny bit within himself. But I do think there's going to be games where you're going to need Smith Rowe and Odegaard shoehorned into the team. Maybe even playing them both in central midfield and not in the wide areas, people. One in the wide areas. Like I said, there's going to be games you're going to need one out wide, one in the team, maybe one as a cam, one as an 8, maybe none. This is the problems we need collectively. There's 38 Premier League games, however many if you apply, you know, if you apply that to like the Europa League and rest of it, we're going to need all of these guys. So it is what it is so far. Good start from Odegaard. Like I said, not something where we need to be waxing lyrical, but he doesn't look out of place. That's the benefit. You know, he's joined the team midway through a season. He doesn't look out of place. He looks like he's been there for a minute, and that's what we need, especially in a time like this where you're coming in mid-season and you can only grow from there. And like with Odegaard, he looks a confident guy. Like he looks like he believes in himself. That's what I like to see, really and truly. So I think it can only get better. Do I think he's gonna, you know, do PFA Player of the Year stuff? Of course not. But you know, as long as he can help us to our collective goal of having a decent season, beyond that, who cares really? Jack has said, big up yourself, Jack, as well. Big up yourself, Cam, as well. But big up Jack. You've said, big up DG for the daily content. What do you think of Marie? For me, he's our best defender when he had a run of games. I like Marie. He got his opportunity and he done his thing. But at the same time, Gabriel's a bit raw and he'll show it, but Gabriel's the only one I really believe in, you know. Marie, he's still in that bracket of how do I make it make sense? He's still of that bracket of I don't really know, because I go to that game against Chelsea, to the game he got subbed against City. I think he's a good player. He's good for our squad. I do like him. You know, I think he's probably him or Holding. I think they're our second best defenders, really. For me, it's Gabriel. It's one of them two, and then it's David Luiz. If you factor in mentality, David Luiz has a case to be up there. But love for the super chat, my guy. Love for the super chat, my guy. That isn't true. That isn't true. You're saying what have you said? Let me read it out. We mustn't overcomplicate things. We should step like this every game. Good teams switch their play because of the opposition. We mustn't think we need to play certain players for certain teams. You've kind of contradicted what you're saying there, but okay. Second of all, go and look at Pep Guardiola. Ooh, Hammers hit the crossbar. I mean, hit the post. Seamus Coleman, apologies. Go and look at Pep Guardiola. So it is what it is, man. And that's it. Not enough sample data. Of his thoughts on Mavropanos' form, he's doing all right, man. Let's see what he's got to say. You know, hopefully Arteta gives him a chance in pre-season, and beyond that, who knows, man? Who knows? That's it, man. You know, we did bully them technically. We took the ballers off, and then it started getting a bit mad. 100%, man. 100%. Please get the likes in, people. Good teams don't switch. Yeah, man. And that's a lie, because you're lying. Because one central part to City getting better has been their defensive record. Good teams adapt. You find freedom within a framework. The key word is balance. You don't need to switch it up game by game, but you do need, according to the opposition, you do need to change things. You know, how we play today, that central midfield partnership, would that have got a result against United at Old Trafford? Probably not. We went with Partey and El Nene. There's 38 Premier League games and however many other competitions. If you actually were watching Pep Guardiola's team, they do change things. They change who plays as a 9. Sometimes they change the midfielders. The core principles are the same. They want to play out from the back. They want to play front forward football, but things change. Anyone who doesn't change, any manager that doesn't tweak things, they're playing a dangerous game. You just need to know where to lick, man. It's crazy, man. What have you said? Wow, click the like button and push Deluded. Was that AFTV free? Love for the praise, man. Danny has said, who would be your front four versus Benfica? Soon landing, man. I'm gonna let my thoughts brew for a week, and you'll get them in next videos, man. But right now, I don't know if I'm completely honest with you. Completely. Please make sure you're doing up the likes, people. Really appreciate all of you lot locked in each and every time. Where's my juice? It's getting hot in here, man. What have you lot say? We're going to get into the player ratings in a sec. Big up Deluded. Big up yourself, Leon, man. Cedric is not a left back. We know he's not, but he's playing there right now. So he's going to have to keep doing a job. Thoughts on Saka today? You know, not amazing, but you know what it is. Saka put himself around, you know, took a lot of whacks and kicks for the team. We know what Saka's about. Like, Saka in a positive way. I don't like to talk about Saka. Saka's what I wanted. Saka is one of these players what I want to see in my team. I don't need to tell you mentally what you need to do, tactically what you need. Yeah, he switched off for the goal today, but 9 times out of 10, you know Saka gets it. Like, he gets it. And that's what I like, you know. You're gonna die on a mad hill because you're choosing not to listen. Of course, you settle on a consistent lineup, but you do need to deviate here and there according to you play. You've not listened. Please, I don't want to block you, so please just listen. Like, just listen. You're not wrong. You're just not listening. Like, you should have more followers. Hopefully one day, man. One day, man. One day, man. Out of all the Arsenal channels, started watching yours the most. Big up DG. I appreciate that. Cedric might not be a free, but he played well today. He played well today. And, you know, the 3 people that I wanted to see performance from today was Cedric, Cedric, Leno, and David Luiz. Cedric for switching off against Southampton. David Luiz for getting sent off. And obviously Leno for getting sent off. And they all gave me reactions. You're experienced players. I want you to lead by example. And you did that, you know. They did that. No worries, hey, man. You know, you have to agree to disagree. I mean, you're not wrong. I agree with what you're saying. But you do need to adapt to who you're playing at times. This is why I'm very wary of when people say things like, oh, we shouldn't sign someone because we've got so-and-so sort of thing. Aubameyang is over the hill. Don't let the hat-trick distract you from that. Well, we've committed him to a 3-year deal. You know, being over the hill doesn't mean you can't give us something. So we're going to have to find something for him, man. Danny Ceballos, I don't know, man. I think Danny Ceballos' biggest problem is consistency. If he plays like this every week, it's amazing. Big up yourself, Dre. And that's what I'm on, Danny, man. Once Tierney is fit, Cedric's got to go over to the right-hand side. Simple as that. Andre has said, hypothetical here. Should we sell one of our great young players, Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli? We should move like a ruthless ruthless if Stan doesn't open the books. No, because reality is, how much are you going to get for Saka? Really, as amazing as he is, you could get madness, but how much are people going to put at the table? Martinelli the same and Smith Rowe the same. It's going to be good, big money. But even if they said, 60 a piece for these players, Smith Rowe 40, Saka, I want 60, probably not even many people wouldn't say worth that. Martinelli the same. I want more, of course. It doesn't make sense because you sell them. You can't really buy world-class players. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. I think it does more harm than good. And Smith Rowe is amazing, man. Forget the assists. Obviously, don't forget the assists. The assists are amazing, but it's the influence in the game for me. It's the pressing. It's like he just gets it, man. It's the consistency, man. And that's it. I would say he's got to be sold, but realistically, I think he's going to be afforded the luxury of at least another full season at Arsenal Football Club, which could be a benefit or a curse. And sometimes signings don't work. We could have had the best of intentions to sign Willian. It just ain't worked out. Let's just get rid of him now, you know. And these things, how you get out of bad, sometimes bad signings happen. You know, Saka is north of 60, but again, I wouldn't, even if you got 60 million, I just feel, what is 60 million going to do for us? It's going to grab us a midfielder, you know, but what is it going to do for us? We're going to miss out on Bakayo, really. I don't think it's worth it, really. It's true, but the love of the club only goes so far. To be fair, Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, they're all still young and naive young men. So they're always going to love the club and all these things. Things change as you get older. Saka might look at things differently as he's been involved for 200 Arsenal games, played for England, got a family. Martinelli might look at things differently. You know, I'm sure they do love the club. I love them as well. I want them to stay forever, but it is what it is, man. To be fair, it's a genuine question, man. Where's my juice? What else are you lot saying? Trust me, no slandering about me, man. Everton nil, Fulham nil. For those of you still the real football fans still watching football, man. Moving away from that though, people, we might as well get into the player rate. We might as well get into the player ratings. 1 second, people. I'm just, you know me, I love a timestamp. So yeah, let me share my screen with you guys, people. Let's get into the player ratings. I really need to prepare a bit better. Sorry, people. I like to look at them on my phone, line up and that. So I think Leno was there, Bellerin was there, David Luiz was. Come on, man. David Luiz was there. Who else was there? Cedric was there. Pardon me. Gabriel was there. Ceballos. Jack. Stop doing that, man. Xhaka. Who else? Odegaard. Smith Rowe. Oba. Apologies, people. Aubameyang. All from memory. Bukayo Saka. Substitutes. We saw Willian. We saw Holding. And we saw El Nene. So yeah, let's start with the player ratings, people. Let's start with the player ratings. Maybe if I watch the game again, I'll have something to say. But I'm gonna give Leno a 7. I think he good reaction from Leno. I was really impressed with his distribution today. You know what? I'll give Hector Bellerin a 6 because it would have been a 7. I think he done well to score. I think he had a so-so game. He had a shot early on. He got forward well. I think he switched off for the goal that we conceded. So I think a 6 is a fair result. I think I saw a big reaction from David Luiz, to be fair with you. You know, I think David Luiz had a good game, to be fair with you. There were some Kalam moments, but I think David Luiz had a real good reaction. Because like I said, Cedric, David Luiz, Leno, I was looking at all of you lot today for different reasons. For Leno, you got sent off, you're experienced player. I want to see a reaction, you know. Bellerin, I mean, not Bellerin, David Luiz, I want to see a reaction. Cedric, I want to see a reaction. Do you know what? Even that, it should be a 6, 7, but I think even a 7's OTT because I don't think he played to the level of Cedric. I think Cedric was good today. I'd give Gabriel a 9, to be fair with you. You know, he's playing against one of the most potent strikers in the league in Patrick Bamford. Do you know, I can't really give him a 9 because we've conceded generally 2 cheap goals, but I'm going to give him an 8. I think he was good today. I think he pocketed Bamford. I think he did very well in his minutes. I think Cedric gave me a good game as well. Ceballos, I give Ceballos a 7. I think Ceballos is genuinely, Ceballos is probably good chance to be in my man of the match. I think Ceballos had a really good game in his minutes, people. I think Xhaka started to look tired, but I think Xhaka also had a convincing performance. Torn between a 6 and a 7 for Odegaard. I'm going to give him a 7 because I think he really came alive in the final third. I think he defended well. To be fair with you, I can't really give Ceballos a 7. Let me pattern that and make that 8. You know what? I have to, man. Them man, Gabriel and Ceballos 8s. Odegaard, he linked up well. I think he played within himself in a bit, but I think he gets a 7. Smith Rowe, I give a 7. Another convincing performance. I'll drop a 7 on Saka as well. He played good. He probably could flirt with an 8, really. No, but same way it would be an 8, but same way I said with Bellerin, he switched off for one of the goals. I think Saka switched off for one of the goals as well. Aubameyang, bro, you have to give man a 10. He scored a hat-trick, bro. Like, he scored a hat-trick. He should have had more, but he scored a hat-trick. So that would be my thing. I've gone with that would be me. Now, let me not be OTT, really and truly. I think El Nene, for the minutes he gave me, was a 5. Willian, I'd say an NA. He was really ineffective. There was no minutes really for Holding to really impact the game. So that would be it for me. Man of the match, I'm torn because obviously Aubameyang scored a hat-trick. He's going to always win that. Same way, I wouldn't quite say man of the match, but I think Smith Rowe, he just, even when he's not, forget the assist, it's the pressing, it's the passing and that. I wouldn't say man of the match, but shout out to you for your cameo. I think you bossed it today still. I think you, Gabriel, bossed it today. I think Ceballos, probably the best player on the field for me. He was a step above everybody else. Lost the ball a couple of times, but still. Cedric, maybe when I watch the game again, it might be a 6, but I thought Cedric did all right. Shout out to Xhaka as well. Saka, he won 2 penalties. One of the penalties was both of the penalties were legit in my opinion, but shout out to him. My man of the match, people. Oh yeah, I'd probably give Arteta a for his own display. I'd give Arteta I'll give him a 7 as well because I think he installed some good pressing. I think he named a brave lineup, because many people would have said, oh, why is Pepe not there? Why are you playing Luis? Maybe man might have forced it and said, why is it Matt Ryan's starting? Do you get it? So it was a good lineup. There was a plan. There was something you worked on all week. You had a week off and I saw some good pressing. We were we were dangerous. We scored some goals. We capitalized on their mistakes. Bit of bewildering subs at the time of them happening and who came on to a degree of, well, El Nene and Holden, I got no complaints really, more so the Willian, but I give him a 7. My man of the match would probably be between Ceballos and Gabriel. Like I said, he pocketed Bamford. Ceballos played very well, and then it would be between them two, and you can't ignore a man that scored a hat-trick. It's as serious as that. It's as simple as that, really. So yeah, that's what I feel in relation to the player ratings, people. Apologies, people, as I obviously know where, because some of us have a busy day after this, people. I've got to go to the individual sides of these timestamps on Adobe, clip them up. So you lot who haven't been at the live streams can see them. Man said rating for the ref, bro. VAR and them, man. If I speak, I'm gonna get in trouble. So forget all of that, man. Aubameyang 10 about getting old. Yeah, do you know when you score, it's never a problem. There's still age in the dog. There's still legs in the old dog. When you don't score, it's a problem, man. He's been through it's true. He's been through a tough time. He's bagged the hat trick. You can't not give man of the match to a man that scored a hat trick, and you take away his 3 goals. It's a bit long for us. So Aubameyang's man of the match. Gabriel and Ceballos running very close, in my opinion, and everybody really gave an encouraging performance. So no complaints at all, man. You can't really complain about anything, apart from the standard of goals we can see. Like I said, I'm going to watch the game again. Tomorrow you'll get your tactical review and all of those sort of things, people. And once my emotion, obviously I'm looking at it as a fan right now. I'm gassed that we won and things. When my emotion dies and I can just watch that game, I always want to review review my player ratings, because half of the time some man get reviewed higher, some man get reviewed less. So we'll have to see what happens. I guess so. At the moment, this should be our system. I don't think we're quite at the standard where we can operate multiple systems. I would like us to aspire to do a bit of what Leeds, the team we beat, and Southampton can do, in that you look at Hasenhuttl, you look at Bielsa, they're playing 3 systems at once. To be fair, you have seen Arteta do a lot of that sort of stuff, but I do think this should be the default system, and then we should, if there's games we're going to be the underdogs and these sort of things, of course, change it up a bit. Man are saying Saka, man of the match. Man have said Aubameyang. No one's really backing the Gabriel and Ceballos shouts. Fair play. Ref 4 or 5. I do think Martinelli can be number 9 in the future. Referee a 5. You're being nice, man. You're being nice. Being absolutely, maybe too nice, really, in fact. Really, please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. What else have we got? Loyal supporter, Leeds United. Big up yourself, Richard Lee. You're still flagging the Leeds thing. Tell Alioski we said hi, though. Bro, trust me. He somehow managed to shake it in it. Bro, because at least I saw El Nene. I'm seeing El Nene press in the 90th minute. You're doing something in it. I know why El Nene is coming on. You're coming on to try and shut up the game and shut up shop. Willian, I didn't see you. I didn't see you. I genuinely don't see Willian in games. That's not me trying to have an agenda. What are you doing? You're not doing nothing. You're not pressing. You're not defending. You're not doing nothing for me to say you played. I don't know William played today, with all due respect. But you're right, it is mad. I hope Arteta is secretly building them. I hope so, man. Big up all the Gooners. You're right, man. You're right. Big up all the Gooners, them. It's evening times over here on a Sunday, and at least it can be positive for once, man. At least it can be positive, man. At least we've got a positive sort of thing then. You know, I'm happy. I'm sure you're all happy as Arsenal fans. We live to fight another day. We're at 280 likes. Can we get that to 300 people? Because already there's 9 of you that haven't hit it because it's gone to 289 now. I know some of you haven't hit that like button. Hit that like button, people, man. Please hit that like button. So we reviewed the player ratings. I see a super chat. What's going on there? Big up yourself, Dow Square. He said, big up mad levels in here. If you're Martinelli, what do you say to your brethren tonight after watching Will I Am Steal Your Minutes? Bro, all you can do is deal with I don't know how it's happening. I don't understand how it's happening. I don't understand why it's happening is all you can say. Pardon me. Other than it's the manager's opinion. It is what it is. Bro, of course I respect Leeds. You lot deserve to be in the Premier League. It doesn't change anything that I said. Tell Alioski I said hi because he's the one pagan we don't like, man. Anything Alioski, you know what it happens to them youths. Big up DG. A love for the super chat, Dial Square. You know, all I would say if I was Martinelli is it must be frustrating, but just get your head down and play. And when you get that look in the team, not that you need to prove it anymore, but go and make it unjustifiable that you're out of the team. Like how it looks to a degree that Lacazette, Pepe, and him are out of it, really. So keep it up. Big up Jay for the super chat. Big up all the members, them as well, as he is one. He has said, big up DG, keep up the good work. Love the past stuff you've done with the youth and 23 players. I appreciate that. Hopefully next year we can do some more. What am I smoking? Unbelief, your girl got it for me, man. I didn't trust me. I'm not a smoker. You know, it's Valentine's Day. Your girl said link her. I told her I could smoke. I lied, and now I've got myself in problems. So this unbelief to get it. More of the story, people. Don't lie to Gally. Love for that super chat once again, Jay. I'm just a fan that said, I'm not convinced, to be honest. I want Champions League qualification, then I'll be happy. I don't think any Arsenal fan is happy with just winning today. Apart from we can go to bed happy. It's not enough. We're 10th or wherever. You know, 10 defeats of the season, probably going to be 11th when we play City. But today we can be calm. But like you said, I'm not convinced either, really and truly, because this is what Arsenal will do. What I need to see consistency, not just for 3-4 games, for a proper period of time. Big up all Desmond. You didn't even have to give a flag. It's bait where you're from with a name like that. Big up yourself, man. Come on, bro. AFC, bro. I'm not even going to talk about that dead football team, man. It's a dead football team. After Donny's there and from there, so it shouldn't even be there. But it is what it is in that regards, people. Come on, people. Get a couple more questions in. You know me, I love to answer questions. Let's get a couple more questions in. See what he's saying. But yeah, I'm happy we've won. It's still 0-0 Everton versus Fulham. I think Chelsea are playing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll probably be back online at 11:30 a.m. UK time. So make sure you're paying attention when it comes to the live streams and things like that. Because I know YouTube do you bad, man. Was it ever really this bad under Emre? Yes. You know, in the same way, if Arteta left tomorrow and we got a new manager, there'll be a point where he's saying, is it really that bad under Arteta? You watching the Benfica game? No, I'll watch the highlights. Admittedly, I ain't watching that right now. But you lot keep me informed, innit? We need to see Williams' contract, man. There's definitely a playing time clause. Probably, man. Bro, finally grinning teeth. Finally, man. Thoughts on William? Crap right now. Just a fan that said, has your top 6 changed? Well, I'd say so to a degree, because right now, if I'm screaming top 6, who would be my top 6? Apart from Manchester City, who I believe are going to win the league now, in no order, I'd say Manchester City. I think, you know, I'd say Manchester City. I think Leicester will be there, you know. Man City, I think Leicester will get there now. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Because I think Liverpool are still going to be there, but they're in a bit of a problem. I think Tuchel's Chelsea are creeping up. I think you know what, it's easier if I think Arsenal and Spurs are out of it, innit? Now Spurs will probably get it, or I hope Arsenal will probably get it, but it is what it is, man. I'd say that. Man said extend David Luiz contract or nope. Who starts at right back when Tierney is fit? For me, Cedric, until he shows me anything to believe different. How many wins in our next 5, including Europa? Not a clue, my guy. You know, I don't think we're beating City. I'm going to be positive and say 2 wins against Benfica. I don't think we're beating Man City. I'm not too sure of the games after that. So let me actually check. I don't know all the games off by heart. Let me actually look. Oh, and it's not. Why doesn't it come up on Google Chrome for me, man? This is jarring. But let me actually check because you mentioned it. Arsenal fixtures. So next five, including the Europa League. Yeah. Let me say a double against Benfica. Ooh, I'd say 2 wins against Benfica. A loss to Man City. I'm gonna say a win against Leicester, but I personally feel I feel an L against Leicester, an L against City, a draw and a loss against Benfica. I think, funny enough, I think we'll actually beat Spurs in the next North London derby. Burnley and West Ham away scare me. April times, we've got Liverpool, so I will jump a bit ahead. But yeah, that's that, man. Somebody said, do we still need defenders in the window? Probably need a centre half, somebody that's going to be that sort of stopgap sort of guy, if and a bit better than Marie, if that makes sense. Thoughts on Willian? Not good enough, man. Not good enough at all. Just not good enough, man. Last question. You think Arteta will keep the loan knees once they eventually return or sell them off? I think all their futures are doomed. I think the one guy who might stay is Joe Willock personally. But I want to be wrong. Definitely in relation to Guendouzi. Salted and said, do you think Chelsea can get top four? Most definitely. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is in that regards, man. It really is. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, people. There isn't anything really to harp on about or keep getting at, people. You're right, we do need a right back, Sean, but I'm gonna get out of here, people. It's late on Sunday now. We've done the preview, we've reacted to the game. I'm gonna clip up some of these of this live stream for you lot that have missed little segments. But on that note, I'm out of here though, man. It's always a pleasure. DG. Please make sure you hit the like button as well, and make sure you've subscribed. Love for the donations, everyone. Love for the PayPal donations as well, before I forget. Now I'm really out.